What are some of the rules that Amish women have to follow? Now, you might say, well, that sounds so archaic that a woman has to follow these rules. But if you think about it, in any society or community, there are rules to follow. And within the Amish community, the women have certain rules that they follow. So I'm going to share 5 of them today. And the first one I'd like to start with is the way they dress. When you see an Amish woman walking down the street, it's very obvious she's not dressed the way that everybody else in our culture is. They pretty much wear very simple conservative clothing. They'll have a long dress, aprons, and bonnets, and it's usually made from dark colored fabrics. Pretty much the rule is when they make their own clothes is that the straps of the dress must be at least 2 inches wide and the dress must cover her knees when she's sitting down. So again, very conservative. As far as color, they tend to avoid bright colors. They use subdued colors like black, navy blue, and dark green. It's very, very important for them to appear plain. So there's no embroidery or anything flashy about their clothing. They aim to stay away from being prideful. So everybody kind of looks the same, wears the same type of clothes. There are different rules for women that are married and not married, and as far as the color of their caps. A married woman typically will wear a black cap, except when she goes to church, she can wear a white one. But unmarried women typically wear a white cap out in public. They can wear like a black bonnet, though. Other rules are that their clothes need to be made from natural fibers like wool, cotton, and linen. They're not allowed to wear materials like polyester or nylon. And last but not least, you will notice that they don't have any jewelry on. They don't have buttons that are flashy, anything that can make them stand out and be prideful and be different. And I thought this was interesting because I know I've seen children that go to private schools and the school aims to have everybody will wear a uniform so that nobody sticks out. But it was really cute. I was watching this group of children at a private school, and we went to an event and all the little girls had different bows in their hair. So I thought it was very interesting how as people we try to find a way, don't we, to stand out and be a little bit flashier, but the Amish forbid all of that. There's no buttons, no hair bows, or any of that. So they've done a really good job of staying away from anything that can make them stand out as being prideful. Rule number 2, they can't cut their hair. They're not allowed to cut their hair according to biblical tradition. A woman's hair is her glory, and women typically wear their hair in a bun or a braid, and typically underneath their little bonnet or their cap. They believe that their hair is a gift from God and it should be respected as such. So cutting hair is seen as an act of defiance against God's will. So that wasn't a rule that was put on them by a man or by their group, but pretty much it's biblical. This is a rule a lot of us may not be aware of. It's about wedding dresses, and the Amish women, when they get married, do not wear a white dress. Wedding dresses aren't white because they're considered a symbol of vanity and pride. Instead, they wear hues of blue and indigo, and the color blue is seen as a symbol of purity, faithfulness, and loyalty, while indigo is associated with heaven and eternity. So I found that very interesting. Wearing these colors on her wedding day shows the woman's commitment not only to God but to her husband and to her community by following these rules. Again, the wedding dress is not flashy. They're very simple. There's really nothing else on it except those colors. It is a sacred and beautiful day, but it's not about the dress. The next rule gets a lot of controversy. Women in the Amish community are to be submissive to their husbands. And I know in our culture, submissive brings a lot of negative connotations to it, but actually it is an honor for a woman to have her husband as the head of her family. If you think about it, her role in that unit of a family, husband and children, is to take care of the children, plan meals, and take that traditional role taking care of the family, while the man has to go out and earn money for the family and work the farm and things like that. So it isn't a horrible thing as most people think. It's actually they find it as an honor to be under the head of their husband, who is under the head of Christ and the church. This doesn't make women powerless. They still have a great deal of influence in their home and in their community. In many ways, they're really the backbone of the community. When a lot of things have to get done, it's usually the women that will get together and get that done within the community. Last but not least, women are, it's not that they're not permitted to work outside the home, but they don't tend to work outside the home. It is highly valued for them to be at home raising their children and taking care of the home. Until a girl is married, typically she'll go, and you'll see them at the local produce stands, you'll see them in the local bakeries and things like that. Those are usually women who are not married, and usually women who are raising children and have a busy household will typically spend their time at home. Later, when their children are gone, if there's jobs to be done in the community, then a wife could choose to work outside the home. So it's typically, that's not their first priority, is to get a job outside of the home. Their first priority is to take care of their family and their home. So again, some people see that as a rule. They're not allowed, but they are, considering, depending on the circumstances. And there you have it, 5 rules for women within the Amish community. If you have any questions, leave them below. And otherwise, just you have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next video.